All right, welcome to another edition of Shock Therapy. This is new this week. Last week we didn't have one because we were at camp. So this week we want to kind of pick up where we were in the past. And this week is going to be a little bit exciting because Miss Brittany dared me to use my signature catchphrase for our Shock Therapy. So we're going to get there. Just wait. But we've been talking about friends, and we've been talking about Proverbs 13:20. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. And we've looked at the fools shall be destroyed aspect, but we haven't really looked at what makes a wise man wise. So this week's Shock Therapy, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you my opinion. Now, there are verses upon verses in the Bible, and especially in Proverbs, about a wise man will do this, wise man will increase in learning, all other types of things about what a wise man will do. But I want to boil it down to a Pastor AJ-ism about what a wise man actually is. So that way, by the way, we're at Starbucks, so if you hear a lot of stuff in the background, that's what it is. But that way we can boil it down, and you can say, okay, that's what makes a wise man a wise man. That's what I'm going to try and be in being a wise man. So, with that being said, signature catchphrase time. Let's flip the switch. So Proverbs 13:20 says, "He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed." So what does it really mean to walk with wise men? What does it mean to be a wise man? Because if I'm going to be looking around for friends that are wise, what does that mean? What does it mean to look around for those? What do I look for? What are qualifications for that? So I wrote down something that I really think through studying the Bible for me has been something that I would look for in a friend. And it says, someone who uses logic, common sense, biblical doctrines, and biblical principles to decide where they're headed in life. Okay. When I look for a friend, when I'm searching after somebody, what I look for is someone who has logic and common sense about where they're headed in life. Okay, if you're with somebody, if you're friends with somebody who's smoking weed and drinking all the time, they have no logic about what they're going to do in life. Where is that going to get you in life if you're consistently doing something like that? Number one, it's illegal at your age. Number two, it's really, have you ever noticed anybody that's like, CEOs that are doing all that stuff? No. The point being, using logic and common sense, but then after that, using biblical truth and biblical principles. So not only just the truths of the Bible, and by that I mean the doctrines, the things contained here that are set in stone. Thou shalt not lie, steal, the things that are set in stone. Honor thy parents, honor and obey thy parents. Those are things that are set in stone. But not only just the truths, also the principles. The idea that I'm not going to do anything to harm my body is a biblical principle. So it's not a truth of thou shalt not do this, it is a biblical principle. So a wise person is someone who uses their logic, uses their common sense, and then also the things, the truths found in the Bible, but also the principles found in the Bible to say, where am I headed in life? What's my direction? Because if my direction is going to be that I want to follow Christ, then what principles and truths I apply in my life will be different than somebody who says, you know what, I just want to live for fun. I don't really care what goes on. I don't really care what I look like or how I act. That's not going to be the type of person that you're going to want to be a friend with if you're wanting to be truly wise. So when you're at a point of looking for friends that are wise because of based off of Proverbs 13:20, then look for somebody who has direction. Now I know you're like, man, I'm in 8th grade. Nobody has direction. We're just wondering where to put deodorant. The point is not about everything in life they have to have settled. They need to be a lawyer and make all kinds of money and be going to this college and all that stuff. The point is that they look and say, there's a direction I'm headed, and here's why I'm headed that way. I may not know where I'm going to college, but my direction is to follow Christ, and here's why I know that, because logically it's the best thing to do. Common sense tells me my body was designed to do that. Biblical truth and principles all point me to that. And so based off of that, I'm going to follow Christ. That's a wise man. That's a wise person. Someone who uses logic, common sense, biblical truth, and biblical principles to say, that's the direction I'm headed. So when you look at your friends, when you look at you, by the way, where's your direction? Is your direction straight ahead? Is it to the side? Is it backwards? Because everyone is going in a direction, and what they use their logic and common sense for, and generally if they're for or against the biblical truths and principles, will tell you which direction they're going. So number one, look at your direction. Are you following the Bible? Are you using your logic, common sense, the biblical truths and principles to direct your life? And then look at your friends and say, are they? Because if they're not, then I'm a companion of fools. But a wise man will be friends with a wise man. So look at your direction, look at your friend's direction, and make a decision. Is this where I want to end up? Use your logic, use your common sense. Is that really where I want to end up? Love you guys. Hope you have a good week.